Hello, my Apish people. I hope you guys had a great holiday break. Now we're back for our second semester, but we are still in our chapter, The Union in Peril. This is our last 2 days with the material. You guys have assignments both Monday and Tuesday, but one more video, and this is this one. Our last topic we have to cover in the textbook is constitutional issues. The case of like Dred Scott versus Sandford, stuff like that. So both the Democrats' position on popular sovereignty and the Republicans' stand against expansion of slavery received serious blows during the Buchanan administration. Republicans attacked Buchanan as a weak president. Buchanan was the last president before the Civil War. One of Buchanan's first challenges as president in 1857 was to decide whether to accept or reject a pro-slavery state constitution for Kansas, submitted by the Southern legislature at Lecompton. Buchanan knew that the Lecompton Constitution, as it was so called, did not have the support of the majority of settlers. Even so, he asked Congress to accept the document and admit Kansas as a slave state. Congress did not do so because many Democrats, including Stephen Douglas, joined with the Republicans in rejecting the Lecompton Constitution. The next year, in 1858, the pro-slavery document was overwhelmingly rejected by Kansas settlers, most of whom were anti-slavery Republicans. So this mix of pro-slavery and anti-slavery resulted in this Lecompton Constitution, which, the help of Republicans and even some Democrats, did not get past Congress. Dred Scott versus Sandford. Now, this was a very popular case leading up to the Civil War. Congressional folly and presidential ineptitude contributed to the sectional crisis of the 1850s, beginning with the Compromise of 1850. Then the Supreme Court worsened the crisis when it infuriated many Northerners with a controversial pro-slavery decision in the case of a slave named Dred Scott. Scott had been held in slavery in Missouri, and then taken to the Free Territory of Wisconsin, where he lived for 2 years before returning to Missouri. Arguing that his residence on free soil made him a free citizen, Scott sued for his freedom in Missouri in 1846. The case worked its way through the court system. It finally reached the Supreme Court, which rendered its decision in March 1857, only 2 days after Buchanan was sworn in as president. So, this case made 3 decisions. Let's backtrace. What was this case about? This free slave, Dred Scott, was working in a free state of Wisconsin, a free territory. And while living in Wisconsin, he sued, trying to get his citizenship because of Wisconsin being a free state. So it made 3 decisions, this case. 1. Dred Scott had no right to sue in a federal court because the framers of the Constitution did not intend African Americans to be U.S. citizens. So he can't even sue. Number 2, Congress did not have the power to deprive any person of property without due process of law. If slaves were a form of property, then Congress could not exclude slavery from any federal territory. Because remember, slavery was deemed as property. Slaves were deemed as property. And number 3, the Missouri Compromise was unconstitutional because it excluded slavery from Wisconsin and other northern territories. So big blow to the anti-slavery crowd, the abolitionists. The court's ruling delighted Southern Democrats and infuriated Northern Republicans. In effect, the Supreme Court declared that all parts of the Western territories were open to slavery. Republicans denounced the Dred Scott decision as the greatest crime in the annals of the Republic. Because of the timing of the decision, right after Buchanan's inauguration, many Northerners suspected that the Democratic president and the Democratic majority on the Supreme Court, including Taney, had secretly planned the Dred Scott decision, hoping that it would settle the slavery question once and for all. The decision increased Northerners' suspicions of a slave power conspiracy and induced thousands of former Democrats to vote Republican. Northern Democrats such as Senator Douglas was left with the almost impossible task of supporting popular sovereignty while repudiating the Dred Scott decision. Douglas's hope for a sectional compromise and his ambitions for the presidency was both in jeopardy. So our next topic is the Lincoln-Douglas debates. And I kind of want to complete that section and the section on the election in the same video. So that is exactly what we're gonna do. So I'll have another video for this chapter coming out very soon.